I don't think the bottom's in yet. I think that what's happening is that people are thinking that things are quote unquote on sale. And that takes out of context the fact that future prospects for a lot of companies in this market have greatly deteriorated over the next year. And likewise, that the multiple expansion we've seen over the last 2 years, in some cases, is not deserved. And there are some companies that probably are on sale, and I'll look to add to those over the next few months. And those are companies that have shown us the ability to sustain demand no matter what the macro environment is. Stimulus, no stimulus, fiscal supported demand, consumer and wage and labor earnings demand. Those companies that have shown a top line insulation as well as a margin insulation are those that I think that we'll see a bifurcation around, and that the breadth will decrease over the next few months as we digest and the market digests decelerating corporate earnings.
It's Victoria, the NASDAQ in particular. Wow, what a move. Bespoke just tweeting out, we went through a 7% range in the NASDAQ this week and ended completely unchanged. What do you do with tech? We got good earnings from Microsoft and Apple and good reception from the market. Does that help lift the entire group from these doldrums that we've been in?
I think it does give a little bit of support, especially as we're about to go into next week where we have more tech earnings coming. And we've seen so many of these names really come down over the last month. And so they're probably set up a little bit better than some of the other names, like the financial names went higher into their earnings. And so there was a little bit of friction there. These names are down so much going into some of their earnings next week that perhaps we see a little bit of a lift. I said earlier we had bought Apple prior to the earnings. We added to our Microsoft position prior to earnings as well. And I think that's what you can do on these volatile days. On green days, you can maybe trim some names or you become overweight. And on red days, go in and pick up some of those names. As Greg said, some names are cheap. That doesn't necessarily mean they're a good value, but get your shopping list out and start adding to some of those tech names that have pulled back if you think earnings are going to be strong.